We have here a nice stack of 5 mid-19th century geographies. These are like atlases for teaching, for instructional geography in the school systems at middle level and high school. This first one, look at this great cover, paper-covered boards, Native American and teepee scene here, hunting a tiger scene here. Great bird's eye view of the Appleton firm there. It's from 1868, and like most school geographies of this era, it displays some signs of having been used by students, and there could be flaws throughout, such as writing or a torn corner or page or bent corners, staining, etc. Overall, they all appear to be complete. Great series of these line drawings, including Mexicans dancing the fandango. And here at the front is a very nice double-page map of the world with the mountain elevations compared and rivers there. That's the first one. This next one is just a year later, Philadelphia by Cowperthwait, like so. And these all have leather spines with pictorial paper-covered boards. And this one is physical geography, and it's 1869. And here's an index of the maps, including an ethnographic map showing the distribution of the races of mankind. And there's a map of Alaska, a map of mountains, and so on. And if we flip through this one to show you how these maps look and how the contents look, these actually is hand color. On this one, there's a mountain profile across the bottom. So this is a hand-colored map, as is this one, ethnographic map of the world. Yes, with a colored key down here. Notice these illustrations here. Oh, look at that, some 19th century name written there. And so I'll show you all the maps are hand-colored. So here's this one, wind and rain chart. Here's one for isothermal lines. And there's things like, yes, atmosphere is covered here. And this is ocean currents. And here we have rivers and lakes, like so. This is volcanoes. Here we have mountains and plateaus. Okay, and so the next one is this Warren's, again, Philadelphia by Cowperthwait. They were major publishers, pictorial paper boards, remnants of some early schoolboys' ownership nameplate there. And like, for instance, here we have a torn end paper. And this one's been used to do math equations on. Some damp staining, 1871. And you see, it's an overview of various types of approaches to teaching geography. The vocabulary at the rear. Hand-colored maps here. This is hand-colored map of Oceania. Here's a hand-colored map of Africa. Hand-colored map of Asia, that is, for instance, right here, defective, well, torn anyway, could be repaired, doesn't appear to be any loss, I don't think yet. No, that was all just bent under. Here's one of Central Europe, and here's one of Western Europe, and like so. Oh, Lord knows why there's a slice in that text leaf, but there it is. Oh, look, someone has done some sort of a triangulation on that map of South America and Mexico, like so. And here is British provinces. Here's the United States. Here's the western part of the United States. And here we have the Midwest. Yes, here's the South. And there we have the Mid-Atlantic. We have part of New England. And here is the rest of New England. We are actually right now filming this in Dover, right in here. And here's a, whoops, see right here. This is the sort of damage you'd find in a school atlas, but it's complete. The map is still complete. Double page of the United States. Here's a map of North America. And here is the world, like so. Great little line drawings. There's a map like that. So there's the third one, and here's the fourth one, is Our World by Mary Hall, Boston, Ginn and Company. And that's an unusual author there. female author at this date, 1873, in geography. That's interesting. And what we see here is like so. This is hand color on here. Well, you got physical map. That's interesting. That's color lithography. These are lithographed maps. With a couple of them so far appear to have had hand color applied. This would be a color lithographed map here. And yes, double page on an inset tab. Okay, there's New England with an inset actually of the White Mountains, about an hour, hour and a half north of here. Very beautiful part of the state of New Hampshire. Like there's more New England, like so. And then we'll just give you an overview like this, distribution of plants, isothermal lines. That's an interesting map of Australia with the Sandwich Islands, Hawaii inset there. Nice and clean internally, this one is. The owner of this has clearly taken care of it and not abused it, or even very heavily used it. Nice illustrations too. These types of illustrations are really interesting from a historical perspective, and I think in many ways are underappreciated. Like they're just overlooked still by a large number of people, but they really do possess a particular visual appeal and charm for this era of printing, because soon, this is an intermediary stage, before all of the images basically become photomechanical or offset in a manner that does away with that sort of almost folk art visual appearance. This last one's interesting, Cincinnati and New York, then Antwerp, and it's a school geography again. We see here a New Hampshire signature from 1884. The title of the date, however, is 1877. It's by von Steinver, and like so. And we see here, flip through it like this. Oh, that's interesting. Right, because it was distributed, no doubt, in New England and within Massachusetts, these geographies often have at the rear a supplemental section with cartography relating to the area that it was distributed in. And so often these geography style books of this era that are found here in New England will be the New England version of that publication, which makes it a variant to one published, say, in the West or the South, or even the Midwest, likely. No doubt these publishing firms had versions. That's a nice map there of Texas. Different versions for different parts of the country. Marketing, even then, was fairly sophisticated. Rand McNally was the master of that sort of publication alteration of imprints. They would publish an endless array of atlases for a whole wide range of firms and businesses, and essentially just change the titling and the title page and the covers and so on. And you've now seen this, how these survive.